Sorry. All right. And we're almost to the open response. That's what most people want to do anyway. The marine, so that we got an algae. It's able to move sodium ions from vacuoles to the surrounding seawater through active transport. So it can pump salt out. So this thing is going to have to pump salt out of its body. Which condition or feature require this mode of transport? So we're pumping salt out of us. So let's see. Movement from a region of higher sodium concentration to the region of lower concentration. That sounds about right, right? A partially permeable surface. Okay, well, I mean, yeah, I can deal with that. Permeable, but permeable is usually going to indicate non-active transport. Membrane fluidity, that's going to be for both active and passive transport. Transmembrane proteins, though. So which condition? Transmembrane proteins. This is going to be proteins that are going to allow things to move from one side to the next. So I'm going for transmembrane proteins. This one is going to have, because you're going to have a protein to move that salt through. So this is a condition, a living condition, membrane or a movement from a region of high sodium concentration to a region of lower sodium concentration. But that's not really what they're getting to. They're asking about a feature that's required for this to happen. So we're talking about a feature, we're talking about a structure. So transmembrane proteins, a protein that goes from the inside to the outside, would be the correct answer. Therefore, it's D. That's a really good question, though, Troy. At least when I say good, I mean tricky, because they're really trying to throw you off by A. In fact, I was a little thrown off by it looking at that as well. This is what's occurring, but you know, the sodium is coming in from the outside where there's a higher concentration of sodium coming into an area of lower concentration, and they're pumping it out. But what do we need in order to do that? I need a protein pump in order to do that. That protein pump is going to be the transmembranal. It's going to go all the way through. It's going to be an integrated protein. It's a good question. All right, now let's get to the biggies. Let's get to 11, short answer. So I wrote, while you guys, I was waiting for you guys to get here, I put all the answers that could possibly fit in here. So there was most people got 2 marks for this. And you can, when you take this, always pay attention how many marks that are telling you that are available. There are 4. So I'm going to highlight that. There's always going to be an indicator of how many marks you can get. 4 possible points here. So if I put a plant in a hypertonic solution, what's going to happen to it? One, well, plant's going to lose its mass. It could lose water. And I took water. If you put them as I took water or it'll lose its mass, that's fine. You got a point. If you say water exits the cell, these were the 2 most frequent. And that is also the 2 most frequent that they, for the mark scheme. A mark scheme is like they give me what is chosen most often. Those are the 2 that occur most frequently. But there are other things that you could say. So it causes passive transport to occur. You could have said more. And how many, and you had a 150 word limit. That's something else to pay attention to. You could write up to 150 words, meaning that you had some other things to potentially think about when you did this. I love this. Solute concentration decreases in the solution around you because if water's exiting the cell, the solute concentration around the cell is going to decrease because water is going to come out of the cell. And they're really saying outline. Give me a reason. Solute concentration increases inside of the cells as water exits the cell. So solute concentration inside the cell will go up. Solute concentration within the cell is going to go down. Going to go up because water's leaving. If water's leaving, it's leaving those solutes still there, and so the solute concentration is also going to increase. And if that happens, we're going to be reaching an equilibrium, and the concentration gradient will also decrease. The differences in these gradients is going to decrease as I move to an equilibrium. If I'm pouring water out of it, it's trying to reach an equilibrium, and so the concentration gradient is going to decrease And if you had just put water is going to reach an equilibrium, then you would have got them. I would have gone ahead and given you that point. But I think a lot of people just put the first two things that came in their head and moved on. And I get it. You have limited time, but try to make sure you're hitting the number of marks that are there. You've got about 86 seconds per mark. So you got about a minute and a half per mark. Go ahead and write more. You've got some time. So that means on this particular question, you probably want to spend close to, 5 minutes writing just on this particular question. You see 4 marks, think I've got, 4 to 5 minutes to sit here and think about this for a second, put some more effort into
So,
it.
like, if we had written 4 effects, we would have gotten the full 4 marks?
Yes, ma'am. Simone. And go back and look at those questions in the library. Not in the library, excuse me, but in the library, not the questions, but those tests. There's paper 1, 2, and 3. They always tell you how many marks are there. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so most people got this one. This one was not bad, but I was really cool with this. I should have not given hardly anybody any points, but I did give them points. What do you think is wrong with this answer? This is the range of that they accepted, but I have to add something to this to make it technically right. And I only had, I think, 3 people do it. What do you think I needed to add? I can see right here, right? This is going to be where it's isotonic, right here on this line. That's where, so right here where it intersects here, and where it intersects here. This is the range. There's something that needs to be added to this. What would make this accurate? Make this correct.
You mean what will make the answer accurate?
Yep. What do I need to, and actually, just to get the mark, I gave people this mark anyway. What do we need?
Put the mass. No, wait, no.
Something, not mass.
The label?
I said,
Put,
Huh?
the concentration.
I started with, it starts with a U.
The unit.
The units, that's right. So it would have to have pointed, we're talking about moles, right? So you need to have moles. If you could, I'd have put on here that this would have been moles. And I don't even know what this is, do you? And -3. I can't, I don't have any of that. I can't actually put that on there. I wouldn't have, I can't put subscript or anything like that at all. It doesn't give me that. But you need to put units. That was the thing. If you had put this units on here, you would have got that. And I gave it to anybody anyway. Don't worry about it, but just remember that for the next test. They wanted units as well. I'm going to save that. I'm going to highlight this. So if people come back and look at it, they'll remember. Bold. Bold. But most people got that one. That was pretty standard. Short answer here. Oh, same one. Sorry. Come on. You're in my way. Oh, this one was, people got smoked on this one. So what do you guys think about this? So on the graphs we always have all the groups per each one of the solute concentrations. I don't have a line on it. So what is terrible about this is that what makes it less reliable, well, there's no standard deviation or error. So that's not very reliable. I don't know just what the standard deviation is for each one of these groups. That's not a known. So if we don't have that information, it doesn't make it as reliable. What does make it reliable are these two things. They allowed these two. So the trend is the same between these two. So that indicates that it's reliability. They mentioned that the curve or the trend was similar between these two groups. So that would indicate that this was reliable. They also said that this is what you would expect. This is what is expected whenever you put cells into a solution that ranges from a hypotonic to hypertonic. You would expect there to be an increase in mass to a decrease in mass in a hypo to hypertonic solutions. So the thing that you needed to do is just talk about how this was reliable. Most people didn't get any marks on this one, but some people did write about this. How many of you guys in this group, I'm curious, got a mark here?
Me.
You did get a mark? Good job. I mean, that was
I got a mark as well.
good job. Good job. I mean, that was a tough one, man. That was a tough question. So that was about the lab. Again, I was telling you guys, this was going to be very much lab based. Let's see, that was evidence reliability. This was one that you had to speak about proportionality, which is why I was telling you guys in the video, why do I want to use percent change? Because my groups might change a little bit. So if I'm looking at, you know, something that has a mass of 10 grams versus something that has a mass of 5 grams. Well, if I have a mass of 10 grams and I'll lose 2 grams, that's 20%. But if I have something that has a mass of 5 grams and I lose 2 grams, well, that's a change of 40%. 2 grams to 2 grams sounds like it's the same, but it's not, because proportionality, 2 grams means a lot more in something that's small. So this is what they were looking for. Could you talk about proportionality? And about a third of your classmates, about a third of you guys wrote something about proportionality. This is why you would calculate percent change in mass, because the group size could be variable. And even if you said group sizes are variable, so you would need to use percent change to be more accurate. I gave you marks for that, but they really wanted you to, and that's why I'm highlighting this for people to come back and look at. It's about proportionality. And then again, I gave some people marks for that, just if they were talking about the group sizes could be different sizes. And if there were different sizes, you would need to use percent change. Should you be more accurate? I was okay with that. Very few people missed this one. Most people went to the internet, solved that one. I'm not stupid. Very few people missed this one. They just did Mr. Shane. It was easy, super easy. There's only 3 or 4 people that misinterpret. What do you think they misinterpreted this to mean? 3 or 4 people misinterpreted this question. What do you think they wrote about instead? Instead of the functions or characteristics of life, what did they write about? Which is reasonable, to be honest with you. I could see why they could make that mistake. What's the other thing that we learned? We've already had it in the multiple choice. That's a hint. Come on, guys, help me out. What else could they have written about?
Did some people write about jet rat?
Jet rat. No, no one wrote about jet rat. Nope. Something else though. Cell
Function.
cell theory. I had some people start writing about cell theory. Just a few people. I think they just saw functions of life, and they're like, all cells are made of cells, right? Or all cells come from pre-existing cells. The basic unit of life is a cell. All organisms are comprised of 1 or more cells. I mean, there was just, you know, oh man, this is probably the last question. They had about 5 minutes. They were tripping out, and they started writing about cell theory. I get that. It's worth 4 marks, so
I have a question.
yeah.
So why'd you like specify 4 in this one and not 4 in the other one?
I didn't specify at all. These are all IB questions. I don't specify anything. I'm giving you guys straight up questions from IB. I do not write these questions. Every question you guys have had all year long came from an IB test. I'm very, very deliberate about these. That's why every one of these tests, you guys should, I'll open them up. You can take a look at them. And I want you to, if you have a printer, print them if they'll let you print them. I don't know if you can print at home these tests or not. But like I always tell my students, at the end of the year, if we were in person, you better have all your tests. I give you these tests back, and I want to see you catalog these things. Catalog them. and once you guys do get back, I'll go into the printer, the printing, to the teacher's lounge, and I'll burn through reams of paper so everybody has copies of all the tests. Because I want you to have them so that you got practice questions. These tests they don't vary a whole lot between year to year. I mean, they vary in the question, but not the concepts. So if you just take those old tests and go, okay, I know I'm going to see this about the functions of life. I know I'm going to see Mr. Sheen. I know I'm going to get the osmosis lab. I know that. When I see that, I'm not going to be freaked out like, oh my God, the hell is this? Carrots and potatoes. What? You're going to see it. It might not be carrots and potatoes. Next time it might be apples and peaches. I don't know. But it'll be something. You'll see it. And you'll know what it is, be familiar with it, and be just fine. So I don't specify how many marks they do. And they could have specified a lot more. I mean, they could have specified 7. 4's not a lot. I mean, I would wish they had specified 7 because whoever that kid is, this one's an easy question. You should know Mr. Sheen. That'd be an easy one to get the points. Let's go to 16. Last is 16. Oh man. Okay. So this is where I wrote a bunch. This is one of the reasons a lot of people did not get points here is because they weren't following describe. You describe and explain, you need to give an explanation, description full. So I just wrote 3. So if I'm gonna have control variables and I'm testing osmolarity in plant tissues, what I want to do for controls, and a lot of people just listed them. They just put temperature, size, something, and I'm like, what? No way. Describe it. So look at what I did. Temperature would need to be maintained at the same temperature between groups. Since this is a variable that increases as an increase in temperature, as an increase in temperature increases the rate and decreases in temperature slow the rate of diffusion or osmosis, this would need to be held constant. So you need to describe what's going on here. So not just that you had used temperature, but describe, how you would do this. Size would need to be held constant, and you tell me why that is why is that way. Don't just write one word and you're not going to get a mark. If it says describe it. Let's see how many words your limit was. You had 100-word limit. 100-word limit, and there was 4 marks. So that's about 25 words per 2 sentences, 2 to 3 sentences. They also put here like any description of equipment, and that's where I saw a lot of people that did get this one. A lot of people wrote about this, and I'm glad that they included this in the answer choices. So if you talked about using the same glasses, if you use the same glass container, or if you use the same plastic container, or whatever the container was, that would keep that variable constant, and using the same equipment would maintain the reliability of how the equipment if it had an effect on osmosis, that would be consistent amongst the groups. But most people actually got points on this one that wrote more than just 1 word or 1 sentence. Most people did, but you just can't list a bunch of things and get points on it. All right, I'm going to open it up to you guys. What questions do you guys have? You can ask me about the test or anything else. I'm open.
I had a few questions. So for the Khan Academy, do we just do the assignments you assigned by Sunday?
Yeah, did you see them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's only 2 quizzes, maybe just 1 quiz. Let's go look. It's 1 or 2 quizzes. They're pretty straightforward, and man, by doing these, that's going to help you a lot in the next lesson. Let's see, Khan Academy. It's going to help you a ton. So go to Khan Academy. Somebody's chatting with me. What? Well, let's try it again. So there's a person saying this is not working for them. So what period are you in? The person that just said this, or Kim, you don't have to be ashamed. You just
1A.
All right, so let's go to this. I think it is manage. How do I get this stupid thing? I'm trying to find their code. I've got to get back to where there's a code. Come on. Don't screw with me like that. There it is. How do we get the code? Scores, assign. Oh, I think it's settings. There it is. You see the settings, kid?
Yes, you're good.
And did that class code did not work?
It was invalid for me.
Really? Huh. Try it again. Try it again. See if it works now. But go, and do you have a pen? Can you write it down really quick?
Yeah, I got it. Let's
Okay.
try it.
Yeah, let me go and let me look at the assignments and see. Scores. Yeah, let's see. This is, yeah, there's only one quiz at the end of this. And most of these videos are pretty short. I think this first one's pretty long, but the rest of these are pretty short. This time that you'll invest in this, let's say it takes you, I don't know, 1 hour over the next 3-4 days, man, that is going to make your life a lot easier next week. And I think that they'll let you take this quiz twice. So in order to get the credit, I'll see. I can actually go in here and look, and let's say I go, oh, let's check out Ali. I can see if he just clicked it and let it run. If you watch the whole thing, if you paused it, and hopefully I'm going to see you guys pause it and rewind it and kind of mess with it a little bit, because you're going to be like, what? That's a lot more than I ever realized. So there's a lot going on with photosynthesis, and they expect you to know a lot. But yeah, it's an easy way to get a nice formative grade. This is a formative quiz, so it'll be like a formative quiz. It'll count the same. Easy way to get it.
For the endergonic and the exergonic worksheet you gave us, chart you gave us, for the 2 biological examples, do you want us to put diagrams or just write the examples?
Just write them out. Just whatever it is. I'm just curious what it is. So what's one that you're thinking of already?
I was thinking of photosynthesis.
Okay, so would you say photosynthesis is overall endergonic or exergonic? And remember, endergonic is reductive, exergonic is oxidative.
I would say endergonic.
Why would you say that?
Since the process of photosynthesis, it has a reduction of their electrons during the process of photosynthesis.
It does. It reduces the electrons are going to reduce. What are they reducing? Let's see how far you can take this.
The oxygen.
No oxygen goes into the reaction. What goes into the reaction?
Oh, the cellular respiration.
Cellular respiration is a different process. What are the 2 molecules that go into photosynthesis? I'm breathing it out right now. So are you. What do we exhale? What gas do we release?
Carbon dioxide.
Yeah, we were going to reduce
I forgot
carbon dioxide.
for a sec.
Yeah, that's all right. We reduce carbon dioxide into sugar. Yeah, and another way to think about it is just how many molecules go in and how many molecules come out. And fewer molecules come out than go in. And so that means we're organizing it. We're putting things together. We're taking the same amount of matter and we're taking it from 12 different parts and putting it into 7 different parts. And that's overall going to be, hey, I'm getting a poll from a group. Y'all want to listen to this? Oh, crud, I was about to call somebody. I was going to get I don't know about you guys and your parents, but man, I've been getting polls, calls from Donald Trump's campaign, tons of them. Still doesn't work for you. All right, kid, we'll see what we can't do to fix that. I don't know what else to do to fix that. If you do those lessons anyway and just take a picture of it, send it to me on Remind, I'll count it anyway. If that's what we have to do to fix it for the time being. That's to you, Kim. Okie doke. What other questions you guys have for me?
Just to clarify, so do you want us to explain the biological examples or just write them?
Just write them. Just
Okay,
what
okay.
are two? Let me go look at that. How did I write that? Let me go look. It's freaking me out like I made it too hard or something. I didn't want it to be difficult. I just want you guys to get familiar with it so that it's just not hell on earth. This next unit's really technical. This is big time on the MCAT too for like, yeah, I think the MCAT for medical school.
Mr. Pope, why was photosynthesis endogenic again?
Endergonic is because we're taking endergonic. Here, let me look at this really quick.
Okay.
How I have this written, and then I'll show you why it is. I'll just look at the formula. Yeah, you just tell me what they are. Just two biological. You just say what are they, and as long as they're endergonic or exergonic reactions, I'm okay with that. Let me look up photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. Let me do the formula. Let's take a look at it. Here we go. We'll use this one. All right. Can you see it, or do I need to switch screens?
No, we can see it.
You can see it. Okay, so I've got 6 carbon dioxides and 6 waters. So 6 plus 6 is 12. Look how many molecules come out of it. How many molecules of sugar do I have, or glucose? What do you assume? What's the number in front of this? If there's no number, you always assume there's what?
1.
1. Yeah, so I got 1 sugar and 6 oxygen. So I went from 12 to 7. I have the same amount of matter here. These are balanced equations. So I have 12 atoms, or not atoms, excuse me. I have 12 molecules condensed into 7 molecules. This is going from a state of less organization to a state of greater organization. So this is definitely going to be endergonic. This is going to be reductive. This is going to be anabolic. All 3 of those words mean the same thing. This is going to certainly be an example. I'm still open for questions.
And would would water melting count as endogenic, or does it have to be like
That's not biological either.
body? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I would stay away from that. And I wouldn't say that that's necessary endergonic or exergonic anyway, because there's no molecules being broken or put together. It's just hydrogen bonds loosening up. That's all it is. It's not an actual reaction. What else you guys have for me, kiddos? No, you gotta talk to me. Y'all are the only kids I get to talk to all day. These other kids in here don't talk to me. I've got Ever Oriano here. He just looks at me with disdain all day. He scowls at me. Y'all got nothing for me? Well, I'll tell you what, if not, at least turn on your camera for a second and wave goodbye, because that'll make me feel a little better. Hello. I see Alosa. Hi, Alosa. At least wave. Oh, there's Mock. Oh my God. There's Ashby. Ashby, what the hell is that? Is that? It looks like there's bees flying around you. Holy crap. It looked like a bunch of bees, but it's not. Did y'all notice that? It's terrifying.
I forgot I had put on the NHS background.
Yeah, but watch when you turn it on. Look at her. Turn it back on real quick, and then look. It looks like there's bees are flying around you. Oh, they're going after Ashby. Don't kill her. Oh my God. Oh my God. Are you guys going to turn on your camera and say anything, Mia, Kim, Chastity? Just say something like, hey.
Hello.
Oh, wait, you could turn on your
Oh.
camera and let us look at you. Oh, you look bad. Chancey says you look bad.
Too
Baby, y'all
bad
look
to turn on my
beautiful. Y'all are full of youth. What looks bad is me. Look,
bad to-
looks awful. Look, I got skin cancer under my eyelid right here. It sucks. It looks bad. I need to get that thing burned off. It sucks. Y'all are full of youth and charisma. I'm full of ugly and old. All right, I'm gonna leave you guys. You know who? You know what's really funny? If y'all ever met Ashmeet's mom, if you ever wanted to know what Ashmeet's gonna look like, all you gotta do is go take a look at her mom. She looks just like her mama. I'm talking like you weren't even. I'm not even sure it was sexual reproduction that gave rise to you, Ashmeet. I think your mom just buttered off like a just division. It was a budding. Budding is a form of reproduction. Here and just a little. Bloop, this little vesicle that turned into Ashmeet came off your mom. Bloop, there was another Ashmeet. Hey, what's your mom's name? Oh, Chancey just flashed us, gave us a picture of herself, and then she turned it right back off. Dadgummit. All right, we're gonna leave you guys be then. All right, bye-bye.